If you're watching this video on a mobile phone, you're most likely using an Android phone or an iPhone, which uses the iOS operating system. We know the two operating systems are different for several reasons. However, what exactly are the differences and how did Android and iPhones come to be? Hey everyone, my name is Leroy Kenton and let me know right off the bat, are you team Android or team iPhone? I want to know all your thoughts and comments down below. Now before I get into the facts, just gotta let you know that FTD Facts is now being translated in Spanish. So if you're a native Spanish speaker, you want to hop over to FTD Facts Espanol, where you can keep on learning with us, but now this time in Spanish. The link to that is down below. And also I have a new personal channel called FTD Speaks. So if you want to get to know me as well as hear experiences and topics about religion, spirituality, mindset, entrepreneurship, relationships, and more, subscribe to my new channel, FTD Speaks. The link to that is down below, and I can't wait to see all of you over there. Okay, so with all that said, now let's get into the differences between iPhones and Androids. First off, I want to look at what exactly are they. Android is a mobile operating system that was first developed by a Silicon Valley company named Android Inc. And the Android operating system is based on a modified version of the Linux kernel and other open source. A collaboration that was spearheaded by Google in 2007 through the Open Handset Alliance, OHA for short, gave Android an edge in delivering a complete software set, which includes the main OS, which is the operating system, middleware, and specific mobile applications. Now, as I mentioned, it was initially developed by Android Inc., and Google had bought Android in 2005. One of Android's selling features is an ability to break down application boundaries. Another advantage is that it's easily developed, and not to mention its speed of its app development. So there's a large community of developers that continually create and design apps for the Android markets. And these apps are then made available to the world through Google's Android market as well as other third-party sites. Now switching gears over into iPhone. iPhone is a smartphone made by Apple Inc., and it combines a computer, an iPod, a digital camera, a cellular phone, all into one device with a touchscreen interface. The iPhone runs on the iOS operating system, and the history of the iPhone began with a request from Apple Inc.'s former CEO, the late Steve Jobs, to the company's engineers, and he asked them to investigate the use of touchscreen devices on tablet computers. One of the great things about iPhone is that they have a lot of software updates and they happen very quickly. So unlike Google for Android, Apple, however, controls its entire iPhone ecosystem. So that means it can deliver iPhone updates to you on the day that they're ready, and so you can get new features and security fixes immediately. It has great security because the frequency and the immediacy of the updates really helps in this area. Apple also has a very locked down and curated app store to protect you, and also encrypts your iPhone so hackers can't steal your information as easily. Another major differentiator between the iPhone and the Android is the companies that manufacture them. So iPhone is only made by Apple, and Android isn't tied to a single manufacturer. So Google develops the Android operating system and then it licenses it to companies to sell their Android devices like Motorola, HTC, and of course Samsung. It's not until more recently that Google started creating its own Android phones, and they call that the Google Pixel. So you gotta think of Android like Windows. The software is made by a single company, but it's sold on hardware to a lot of different companies. Now the iPhone is like the Mac operating system. It's made by Apple and it only runs on Apple devices. When it comes to the availability, Androids, there's many phones and tablets. Major manufacturers are Samsung, Motorola, LG, HTC, Sony, Nexus, and a whole stream of other devices. I know Huawei is a big one now that they use the Android operating system. When it comes to Apple's iOS, it's used on the iPod Touch, of course, the iPhone, iPads, as well as Apple TV. There's also a difference between how Androids and iPhones transfer files. So generally speaking, it's easier to transfer files on your Android phone than it is on your iOS device. You can simply plug in a USB port to your device, connect it to your computer, desktop or laptop, whatever, and then that's it. There you go. go. You don't need any in-between apps to do this. For iPhones, however, it's a little bit more difficult because media files can be transferred through iTunes on the desktop. Now, photos can be transferred out via USB, but good luck trying to drag and drop your music just like that on your iPhone. Android phones offer the widest choice of accessories. It's because of their USB port. It's pretty standard, so a lot of other external devices and attachments just use that USB port. However, iPhone, on the other hand, uses its own type of port, so it really limits the kind of accessories that are used on it. You can still get a lot of quality accessories for your iPhone, but it's just less widely compatible than an Android. So you see, both platforms are good choices for different people. You'll need to decide what factors are most important to you when you choose an iPhone or an Android to really meet your needs. So yeah, let me know if you're team iPhone or team Android down below in the comment section, and be sure to check out FTD Facts in Spanish if you are a Spanish speaker, and subscribe to my new channel, FTD Speaks. You guys have been awesome, and I'll see you real soon in another episode. Alright everybody, so thanks for coming here to FTD Facts to expand your knowledge. If you want to keep on learning, here's a playlist filled with videos that will definitely do that. We post videos daily here on FTD Facts, so we hope to see you real soon.